Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of live market analysis with Jay. Let us look into the market today and see what we have. All right, but before that, let us go into the Forex calendar. All right, let's see what we have remaining for the week. Now, we can see here that this was what we had for this week. All right. As of yesterday, which was Wednesday, we had one of the biggest ones, which was expecting was the fund rate, okay, for the USD. We also had the press conference and the statement and projections and all of that yesterday. Okay. So at the end of the day, we had the rate cuts 25 BPS, okay, which brought down the DXY a little bit. I feel like the major move wasn't felt simply because we're already expecting that to happen like a long time ago. Everybody has already been pricing in on what the rates are going to be like this December. And we have been shouting rate cuts, rate cuts, rate cuts since last month. So basically, it was already expected that we're going to have rate cuts. Okay. So that's why I feel like the impact of this news wasn't as big as we thought it would be. Yes, it moved the markets like quite a lot, but like I feel like the impact wasn't as big as it should have been. So moving on, let us look into what we have here for this Thursday and Friday. All right. For Thursday, which is today, we had employment change on AUD. News has already kicked in. The employment rates, they lowered the rates as well. Okay. No. It was actually the same as the forecast. They kept the rate the same, 4.3%. Okay. They forecasted that the rates are going to increase, but it didn't. So this is actually good for the Australian dollar. All right. Then we have policy rate, which is the same as interest rate for the CHF. Okay, for the Swiss, I hope it's Swiss. I'm not really getting it wrong. For the Swiss banks, okay, which remained at 0%. Then today we have unemployment claims for the US. Okay, it's forecasted that we're going to have about 220 claims, which is more than previously we had. And if it is more, usually it's bad, right? Because it's unemployment claims. Okay, so basically the unemployment is too big, then we're going to see there that it's going to be bad for the economy. I mean, unemployment is already bad for everybody, you know. So why won't it be bad for the economy? So yeah, they are predicting a higher number, all right, but hopefully we might have something lower than that. But with the way I feel like we're actually going to have a higher number. Okay, it's just a feeling though, it's a hunch. I've actually not done any research on all of that, but like with the way things have been going in the US, people have been losing their jobs, ICE rating for immigrants here and there. I feel like the unemployment claims are actually going to be higher. As of tomorrow, Friday, by 8 a.m. West African time, we're going to have the GDP for JBP. GDP for JBP. Yeah. So the forecast and the previous seems to be the same. So we hope that is actually true. So we don't have any major movements there, okay, or any major expectations for now. Okay, I'm trying to check something in my settings. It seems that the streaming has stopped. I'm not sure. Okay. Is on, is on. My bad. All right. My bad. I was just checking some things out here and there. Now, let us get back into the charts. All right. Um, let us see what we have for the charts today. Okay, in our charts. So let's start off with Bitcoin. All right. I want to look into the weekly chart and see where we are at. Okay. As of last week, price was low-key ranging somehow. Okay. As of this week, price still seems to be low-key ranging as well. But we cleared off the high of the previous range. So does that mean that we might be going down? Let us look into the daily charts and see if you can have a clearer idea about that. Okay. So on the daily time frame, you are going to notice here that price has actually been moving very slow to the upside. I mean, if you are trying to go bullish, then you just go bullish, right? But it might be that we have this trend line here working, all right, or not. I don't believe that that trend line is even complete, to be very honest. But like, so far so good. We had the break of structure here. We now had the sweep here. So if we are indeed bearish, I want to see a break of structure from this low here, right? So break of structure. If that happens, then we could have something like this. Okay. But then again, this is a sweep. Okay, it does not really mean that we are bearish, but it gives that idea. So it's something worth noting. Okay. If you go down in the lower time frame, you see that there was a sweep here on the daily time frame. That sweep still stands up to now. So, and this here is the move that broke the structure, right? Or the new high, basically. So we also have the possibility that we're still using this whole range, okay? Because if you look at it this way, if you bring out your Fibonacci from the low all the way to the high, you see here that we just entered the golden zone, right? So it's still possible that we might see price pumping from here, okay? Remember that we have this sweep here, although we have already used this zone before, but like it's not too far from us to use it again, okay? So we actually need to watch out for that to see if price is going to pump from here or not. So, but that sweep was definitely there. That definitely is definitely going to be scary for anybody that's trying to like be bullish on Bitcoin right now, especially me, because I've been screaming that I'm bullish on Bitcoin all this while. So I have to be careful with this one right now. But then something that I would actually wait for is the price making another breakout structure here, and then I'll go and take an entry at the retest, okay, of this highs around here. Or if you see price moving back down again for the retracement, I can just find an internal range liquidity and then take it from there. I feel like that's actually going to be very much okay. All right. So for now, we don't actually have much clues on what Bitcoin is trying to do. Okay. But if there's something that I'm going to wait for is to see if you're going to break these highs, and then we now begin to see new highs being formed on the lower time frame. Probably you can see a push from there. Okay. If that does not happen, then we stay out for now. In the other view of Bitcoin, okay, we haven't really broken the structure down here, and I would love to see that if we are bearish, okay, because we do have this breakout structure here, is a nice displacement and all of that. We have a sweep here. Price could literally just come back here and then start dumping from there. It's very possible because at the same time, we do have some key levels here, as you can see, is matching with a bunch of lows and highs that we had previously. Okay, so it's worth noting. We could actually end up being bearish from there. So, but we'll just wait for price and see what it does. Okay. Once price gets here, I'll be alerted. Once price breaks here, I'll be alerted. I'll see. I'll weigh out my options and see which one looks the best. Then, looking into UJ. All right. No. Instead of going to UJ, let's go to DXY. All right. I think that's much better. So let's look into DXY and see what we have there. Now, I came to realization earlier this week. The realization was that we had a volume imbalance here. If you don't know what a volume imbalance is, it's basically a gap. Sorry, not a volume imbalance, a gap. Yes, a gap. Sorry. The way I marked it with VI, that's made me to, misspeak over there. So yeah, we were bearish on DXY for a little while, entered into the gap, and now we're dumping from there, and we are dumping hard, like really hard. So it was somehow expected, although I feel like I missed that gap. But yeah, after the gap, you can see that price just started going down non-stop. So, and with the rate cuts, I am now fully bearish on DXY. Okay, this here is another break of structure. We do have another break of structure around here. Okay, so basically we have multiple breaks of structure, and then we have this gap here, touch the gap, went down. Now, what should we expect? Well, for now, there is nothing that we can actually expect from this unless price starts to retrace. If price starts to retrace, then we would want to get our Fibonacci once again, draw it out here and check out for the golden zone. Okay. We want to be selling from premium, okay, and we want to buy from discount. But then since we want to sell, then we're going to be looking for a POI here to sell from here, which to me it only seems to be that this one is the only valid POI here so far. We don't have any, which to me will be my other block when price begins to retrace. All right. So with that as my other block, with this here as my other block, all right, it's inside the golden zone. So I do believe the price could actually reach to that side. Not just that, but like we do have a nice little sweep around here. So yeah, definitely at some points we're going to definitely come back inside the range, right? And definitely we're going to be looking at new lows. Okay. Currently I think we are aiming for this particular low over here. So after we cross this low, we might see that retracement that we're expecting for, because for price to start retracing or start reversing or anything, usually we have to sweep or break through a higher time frame or a higher time frame POI is really best for that, okay, or enter into a POI. Now, this here is sell side liquidity, and I believe that once you clear out the sell side liquidity from here, we might be able to see that retracement clearly, all right? And if that happens eventually, and we went back inside here, I would aim for this particular low over here, okay? Currently on DXY, I do see that we do have a long trend line around here. So I believe that this is what is going to happen. That price has started clearing out all the trend line liquidity that we have here. Okay, so basically this here is a target, this is a target, this is a target over here as well. So all of that that's contained inside the trend line is actually a target for me. Okay. Uh it's very possible that we could see the XY at 95. Okay, it's possible. On the grand scheme of things, I feel like we should be able to see that happening soon. Okay. But for now, we just wait for price to actually retrace back inside this place. Hopefully use the fair value gap and sorry, use the other block and then dump from there. Okay. Sorry that I am, you know, blabbering a lot today. It's just that I've been feeling a little bit down. Okay. That's for the XY. We do have buyers on the XY. So for now, we're going to be bearish on the XY, which means that once everything begins to like settling back, okay, price action becomes uh okay once more. We should be seeing most of the base USD pairs going down, okay, and then the other ones are going to be going up, okay. Other ones like GBP USD, and the rest. Now let's check. Yeah, I took a loss there. I know. Let's check out GBP USD. All right. We go from the weekly time frame down to the daily, hourly, and so on. Okay. So now we are now bearish on DXY, right? Meaning that we should be bullish on GBP USD, right? So with that idea in mind, or the idea of correlation in mind, I would believe that we'll be aiming for the highs now. Okay. Previously, we closed bullish, and I still believe that we can close bullish for this week. Today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. We still have enough time for that. Okay. And we've already seen that this fair value gap here was respected. Otherwise, price wouldn't be trying to rally like that. Okay, although we did have the rates, okay, coming out yesterday. So let us keep on checking what is happening over here. Okay. So now we see here, I literally don't know which fair value gap it is, but I believe that this one here was the one that price used. Okay. Sometimes when you have a number of fair value gaps, usually we try to look out for the first ones that came out. Price could definitely retrace from there or start reacting to it. So now we reacted to a fair value gap, which was refined from the daily time frame. We had a break of structure. All right. Break of structure here. So what next? Well, next we actually expect to see a retracement, a possible retracement from JPB USD, and then we try to look for a place where we could buy from. Okay, I don't know if the main retracement has started. Okay, but I would believe that price is coming back to the discount zone. Okay, and the discount zone, we have this as our discount zone. So basically, we should look for a POI within this range, and we should be able to find a place where we can buy from. Now, if we begin to go down the lower time frames, the image kind of like dulls a bit. Okay, but if I'm to take any trades right now, I believe that this here would be the place where I'll take my trade from. Okay, at this OTE level. The reason for that is simply because you have a low, another one, and then we have some highs that are around the same area. So personally, to me, I would identify that as a key level. All right. So it's something that I will actually be able to, I would be willing to look into. Okay, when price gets there. Okay. At the same time, we could still make a new high around here. Okay, as you can see right now, price so far so good is still kind of like refusing to go down. All right, so we do have a little sweep here. I believe that the breakout structure should be clearer or should be cleaner towards the 30-minute time frame. So we actually need to break through this high here before we can actually conclude anything. This is just the London session. Okay, so most of these things are actually going to be seen. I believe they are going to be seen mostly during the New York session. All right, it's really clear during the New York session. But no, so far so good. We don't really have anything on the JPB USD. Now the thing about all these things now is that usually after news, the charts don't are not usually very clear. All right. So I find it personally, I find it a little bit harder to actually spot for setups after something huge comes out. When I mean something huge, I'm talking about rates, Fed meetings, um, NFP, CPI. So sometimes it just sends the market flying into one direction, and then before you can start seeing any nicer retracements to actually take trades from, is usually harder. All right. So it's something that I do have to say. Okay. So yeah, for JPUSD, I don't actually have a clear bias yet, but I do know that we are turning bullish. All right. So yeah, for USD JPY, I think I'm going to raise this idea of us being bullish on USD JPY. Okay. But before that, let us draw things from the weekly time frame. Okay. So on the weekly time frame, we see here that we did have this fair value gap here. Okay, like I said before, it's respected. If we now go down to the daily time frame, we'll see here that currently we're inside a fair value gap on the daily time frame. All right, this here is a fair value gap on the daily. Then we do have a nice little sweep over here. Sweep. This here should be a high because price was coming down, came up and came down, right? So basically, there's going to be a breakout structure around here if you go down to lower time frames. Now, this level gap here is on the daily time frame. So basically, we should be reacting to something there. We're seeing some buys around that level. Okay. On the 4-hour time frame, what do we get? Well, the fair value gap basically disappears. But what doesn't disappear is the fact that we seem to be reacting to that fair value gap still on the 4-hour time frame. So maybe, just maybe, you might actually see some reactions down the lower time frame, right? Personally, I would have loved if he actually came down here, reacted to this guy here, which could possibly be an order block, and then started pumping from there once again. But well, since we don't have that, I think I'll still be okay. I'll just work with what I have. This here is definitely a breakout structure. All right. So now we're going down to lower time frame once again. Okay. And as we can see here, I do believe that we are actually trying to like turn bullish from here, but then we need more proof. Okay, just feelings are not enough to make up a trade idea. So we need more. We need more. What else can price action offer here? In the 30 minutes, we don't see much. In the 1 hour, sorry, we don't see much there. But in the 30 minutes, I don't feel like we're actually obeying this Beverly gap here. All right. I don't feel like we're actually getting in tune with this Beverly gap. So if anything, I would have said that we are actually pumping from here. My stop loss would have been here and I'm buying right now. Okay. But then I would like to see more of it in the 15-minute time frame. Okay. 15-minute time frame price, we can now refine that fair value gap to this particular place, which is here. Then where do we buy from? Okay, because like this here is looks like a shoulder to me, head, and then another shoulder, right? So meaning that this here would be our neckline and price could actually pump from there. And not just that, but like I feel like there's sort of a key level around here. Not how price is just reacting to this area constantly. One, two, three, four, right? Then I feel like we're going to get a five here right now. So I would love to see how price reacts to this whole area, right? And see if you can see buys from there. So we'll check into that. We'll check into that. Okay. I think I would like to see buys from here actually. This particular candle now looks like a nice order block to me. So basically, if I'm to buy, I'm going to long from here. My stop loss will be here at the length of the other shoulder, and I'm going to buy. I think, can I get a 1 to 3 from here? Yes, I can. A 1 to 4 actually, so that's pretty good for me. So yeah, maybe from here should be okay. Then let us see. I feel like that's really okay for EJ right now. Okay, for the meantime, we could actually expect some little retracement there. It's not so bad. Then I see the thing that's making me skeptical about EJ right now is actually the USD. Now that they've cut rates, but then, like I said initially in the beginning of the video, is that people have already priced in on the rate cuts. Okay, so I don't think we should be seeing much difference in price action right now than what we're having before. So let us look into USDCHF. So on USDCHF weekly, let's see. Previous week was bullish, low key. This week is bearish. Daily time frame, it closed bearish yesterday, of course, due to rate cuts. Okay, we saw here that there was a sweep, so we swept this particular high. When that happened? That happened on Monday. Okay, even on when is okay Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday basically made the sweep of the week. So I believe that we should be able to close bearish today as well, as the effect of fund is still yet to be like the rate cut. Sorry, so I believe that we might close bearish here as well. Okay, and if we're able to do that, then we're going to form a fair value gap here, which will be able to like draw price back inside here, and then we could actually find a trade idea from there. Okay, so I want to see price closing below this candle over here, the way it is right now. Okay, a retracement back inside the fair value gap, perhaps by Friday or Monday, and then we keep on dropping, okay, along the week, so that the remaining of December is going to be just bearish. All right, so we had here a bullish bias in the first few days of December, and I feel like we're going to have a bearish bias on the consecutive days in December. All right, on the 4 time frame, let's see what happens there. Okay, so on the 4 time frame, the sweep there is still very much valid. Although the problem now is that we have a bunch of different level gaps ranging everywhere. So I would want to see price retrace first before looking for a POI. Okay. We have a level gap here, we have one here as well. Why I'm saying that I want to see it retrace, because I want to be able to use the Fibonacci, and then from there I'll see the premium and discounts. Okay, where is the premium, where's the discount, where can I start entering from, you know. Usually you want to sell at premium price. Okay, so I need to wait for that. Talking about premium and discounts, I'm going to be having a new video coming out on premium and discounts. After that, there's going to be a video on ranges. Okay, and with that, now begin the new arc of education into our channel. Today is going to be the last day that I'll be doing a live analysis until next year. Okay. We'll be resuming the live analysis by second week of January. Now, why I'm saying this is simply because after this week, I don't believe that the price action in December is going to be very stable. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a little break from the forex market. Okay, and in the meantime, I'll be producing more of educational contents for everybody, so that everybody by at least next year will be ready to an extent to be able to like take trades on our own. So I'm going to be dropping videos on other blocks, fair value gaps, ranges, premium and discounts, external range liquidity, internal range liquidity, market structure, all of that. At the end of the day, by the time we get to the second week of January, I'm going to drop a full model. All right. The step by step is all these videos that I'm talking about right now. So at the end of the day, uh, by the time that the second week of January comes in, so by the first week of January, we should have one model, okay, one strategy basically. So yeah, we're going to be working towards that. Okay. So far so good for USDCF. I don't really have any bias right now. So basically, the story for DXY and USDCHF are basically the same. Break structure, no retracement yet. We wait for retracement and then we begin to sell. All right. So there is what we're going to wait for. I'm going to mark this as a fair value gap, and I'm going to put in the daily tag here so that I will know exactly where I saw it from. Okay. So for now, I believe we're not really going to see many setups. Okay. So I feel like it's going to be put out to keep on looking for them constantly. So let's just look into gold real quick. Okay. Now, see the thing about gold here. Yeah? Gold has been ranging for like a while now. Like what, since since the first day of December, we have been ranging non-stop. All right. So basically, gold traders have been in pains. All right. Even though we are seeing trades here right now, trust me, I've not taken any of these trades. All right. And I don't think I will. Now, I will start treating gold again from January next year. But in the meantime, I'm just going to be avoiding gold altogether because of the ranges. All right. The people that are actually crying the most right now is going to be swing traders. Gold is not stable right now this December, so you can forget about that. This here is just something I did for my friend. All right, but I do not believe that. Well, we could actually be bullish right now. You know, DX rate calls have already settled in. Okay, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to buy from there. I also saw the sweep, break of structure, order block. That's my setup there. Sweep, break of structure. What is this? An order block. What are we reacting to? The order block. So it could be believed that gold is actually bullish. Okay. But then I do not trust that because gold has been ranging. I don't like to be placing trades in a ranging market. I like to place trades in a market that's actually going well, it's actually going forward, it's looking for ahead of its future. All right. So I do not believe that gold is completely bullish. It might just be ranging. So basically it's faking out some trades. So if you're trading gold right now, I do hope that you're taking some profits or taking partials at least, so you can secure yourself something. All right. So yeah, let's continue our journey. On gold right now, there is nothing there. Okay. Shag, which is silver. I don't know if you have anything on shag. Okay, because like you know, I feel like silver has been given a better price delivery than gold in a way, but like the only thing that I don't like about it is that it's very hard for you to actually find a place to buy from. All right. Now, if indeed all these things will happen and all of that, I would have actually bought from here. Okay. It's just that I do not really have the what's it called? The pair on my watch list. Well, this here is looking like a very nice order block to me. You know, we had the sweep around here. We had the break of structure. We had everything to make it work out. All right. We even had a fairly gap here, which price reacted to at some point, but then would have been stranded, right? But yeah, this other block was looking nice. It was looking really nice. So now we have sweep, we have break of structure again, but price actually ignored us this time around and kept on going up. So silver is actually not looking too bad right now. Like it's looking like it's looking like it's going to cook. You know, it's looking like it's going to cook really well. So I think I have my eyes on silver from now on. All right, it's something that I'm willing to be adding to my watch list by next year. Let us look into. I think we've already looked into Bitcoin. My bad. JPB, JPY. All right. Okay, so JPB, JPY currently we are seeing a range. Okay, we're seeing a bit of a range here. Price is just ranging non-stop. Let us go down to the daily time frame first before making more assumptions. So I want to erase 4 time frame. What do we get? We have a sweep. Daily time frame didn't actually show us much, but we do have a sweep here. If you ask me, this was came from here, came down here, came up here, swept, and then cut low here, right? So basically, we could be expecting to see some lower price action right now on the JPB, JPY. This here is the sweep that we're talking about there. Okay, if you go down the lower time frames, that sweep is there. And what are we reacting to? We seem to be reacting to fair value gap. Even though the reaction is not really too clean there, you know what I'm saying? It's not clean at all, but like at least it's something. Again, it's something, it's actually something. Break of structure. We have a break of structure, we have a fair value gap, we have a sweep that happened earlier on. We have another mini sweep around here. What else do we get? 30 minutes. Do we have anything on 30 minutes time frame? Okay, so look at this. This actually becomes better now. Okay, because on the 30 minute time frame, you now begin to see that price is showing us that we have a possible, not a possible, I believe that this is another block. All right. So if this is actually another block, and we do have a sweep here, right? Which means that the breakout structure should be around here, which means that this is a potential order block for us to trade from, which means that my sell position will be here, stop loss here. Where am I targeting? Well, why not target this series of highs around here, okay, which looks like is a very nice place to, take profits and all of that. So I think I'm actually going to take this one. Yeah, definitely. It's going to give me 1:9. That's crazy. All right, so look at this here. This is exactly what I just said right now. The border block is here, the sweep is here, the breakout structure is there. Fantastic, beautiful. So yeah, I think I'll be taking this trade. Yeah, I'll be taking this trade. Hopefully, we'll not get an L, but I'll be taking this trade. Give me it so that I can place it. Trade just triggered now. Okay, so we have to be imagine taking an L on live. That would be funny. Let us see what we are working with here. This thing should load faster. What is going on with my internet connection? Like MTN is just crazy these days. Oh, I feel like we're done for today. I don't really have any other plays that I actually want to analyze right now. And but like taking like what extra 10 minutes. But yeah, this is the only setup that I'm going to have for today, like immediate setup that we're seeing here. All right. So I'll see you guys again until next time. Okay. Probably by next year we'll have something better. Okay. But for today, I don't really have much. All right. Until next time, guys.